Today is Saturday, April the 19th, 2025. And we have a very interesting topic to talk about that may be very beneficial for you to hear and that may impact your um, future, definitely. I mean, you may know my story. I used to be a loan officer and mortgage broker and a real estate broker later on in both Miami, Florida, and California. And I'm living down in Mexico. And the reason why I made the move is because numbers don't lie. The numbers tells us that it's time to think outside the box. And maybe, if you were planning on retiring in Mexico and you were 65 or 70, whatever, maybe it's time to rethink those timelines. And maybe it's time to, do it now. And I'll go through the details on why I think this, right? So let me start by sharing my screen here. I'm going to start sharing this. Let me see if I can share it here. Here. It's my full screen. And I should be able to present you that. Okay. So many people are saying that 2008 is happening again. 2008 was the year that some of you guys should remember as a terrible year, especially for those of us who were in the real estate or mortgage brokerage or anything related to properties and homeowners, of course, as well, because we had major losses there. That year I used to own 7 properties in California, and I lost them all. And I was an expert in the field, but I didn't see the writing on the wall, and I didn't believe the warning signs, and I'm seeing that pattern again. So I wanted to share with you this possibility that I think it's happening already, and it's starting in my beloved state of Florida. I lived there in Miami for many, many years. Went to school there, FIU, go Panthers. But I see the signs, and they're undeniably pointing to that direction. And I'm going to walk you through why I think that, But if we go and look in Google, you'll see that many people, not just me, both experts and people who are just, homeowners worried about their future. Everybody is saying it because the signs are undeniable, and we who lived through that terrible, painful process, I wouldn't want to do it again, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. Back then, there was no remedy, and it took us by surprise. Now we have advance notice, and we have an exit strategy for you if you're willing to listen and consider it. Look at let's start by speaking of Lee County. Lee County covers, 2 small cities. Cape Coral is one of them, the main one. And it's close to, on the other side of Miami. It's close to Miami, really. You see there, Highway 75. This is, it goes right through. And if you move directly, it goes to Fort Lauderdale. And, I used to live in Miami Beach right here. And I went to school here in South Miami, where FIU's main campus is. So it's a very short drive. And many people invested there. And the most amazing thing is that even though it's a small place, as you can see here in Zillow, and this is live that I'm transmitting for you, we have 26,000 plus homes for sale right now. I mean, we've never, ever, ever seen that number in Lee County. You know, it's just unheard of. It's amazing. It's a real crisis. And you see the prices are still high, but they're coming down about 7%, according to Zillow. And the data that Zillow shares is very reliable because they are hooked up into the county registers. And so, when a home is purchased or sold, it gets recorded in there. So they're actual transaction based. Is not just an algorithm. It's actual factual data. So a lot of people are selling their homes there, and they're empty. We have 2 million empty houses in Florida. Can you imagine that? I mean, Florida used to be it is a sunshine state. It's where a lot of people dreamed of retiring in because it was low cost of living, great weather, nice people, etc., good services. But nowadays, the prices are coming down. There's a lot of over construction, and the demand is very soft because of interest rates, but mostly because instead of having home appreciation, you're getting negative cap rates. So that means that homes are losing their value. And when that happens, a lot of people stop doing the payments. And as far as foreclosures, this is the highest year on record for foreclosures in that area. And so I think it's a harbinger of what's going to happen, not just to Florida, but also to every state in the union. So it's a hard, a topic to discuss, but it is the truth. And the good thing is that we do have options available that we didn't used to have, or at least I wouldn't even consider them, right? So the real estate market, if you see, I'm going to compare Lee County, close to a major U.S. city, small community, less, maybe 300, 400,000 people, sitting by the bay, in a nice area and stuff, good prices. And so I'm comparing it with Playa del Carmen, Mexico, which is just south of Cancun, about an hour away. It's 32 kilometers. But, I say an hour, we drive slowly, enjoying the views and everything. And here, it's pretty much a similar community. You have basically the same amenities. I will say that the sea is even more beautiful than the one in, Cape Coral or Lee County. And here in the whole Playa del Carmen municipality, which is the county, we have a total of 3,318 homes for sale. So can you see the difference? I mean, 26,000 compared to 3,000. What's happening is obvious. A lot of people are moving out of Florida. A lot of people bought in Florida as investment to rent out their properties, and their rental income is no longer being sufficient to cover the mortgage cost, plus the HOA fees, which have skyrocketed in the last few months, plus the property taxes went through the roof in every state of the union, and plus insurance. So it's really just totally crazy. It's a very different world than it was, a few years ago. Plus COVID, South Florida saw a big boom in real estate speculation, and realtors used to tell you, you gotta, if they're asking for 300,000, offer 350. Offer above list price to get a shot at getting the property. And now all those properties are not selling. You know, some of them have been sitting there for a year and a half. And you know, back when I was living there, you know, we used to sell properties in 20 days, 30 days tops, usually even in a week or two. So, you know, to get an offer at least. Um, so it's a big difference. It's a whole different world. And I like to compare, let me see if I can have this here. The kind of properties that you can get. I mean, if we compare the square footage, well, let me see if I can open this up. In this graphic, this table actually, I was going to do a graphic, but it's just simpler to explain here. This is as of today, April 19, 2025. The median home price in Lee County, Florida, is around $370,000, whereas in Playa del Carmen, a comparable home, you know, or condo, goes for around 250,000. We're talking about nice properties, you know, with all the creature comforts and so forth. So it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Now the cost per square foot, it's just mind blowing. In Lee County, you know, it's about $233 as of today per square feet. Here in Playa del Carmen, it's 135. So it's about half of it, you know, roughly. You know, so you get the same property for either half the price, or you get twice the property for the same price. Now, this is something so important. The property tax in Lee County, I just checked it annually for the median home of that value, $370,000, is $5,500 plus. And here, you couldn't believe it. You know, when I just got here, I thought it sounded incredible. I thought it was monthly or something. It's $250 a year, and even some properties. You know, I have one that pays $40 a year in property tax, and it's a good property. So you know, it's a. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. The last year, 2024, the government data, you know, real data, says that Lee County, you know, instead of growing, it actually decreased in population and in economic, you know, growth. So it was a -7%. Whereas Playa del Carmen is the fastest growing city in the Western Hemisphere. That includes the whole of the U.S., the whole of Canada, Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Colombia, the whole of Mexico, you name it. You know, 15.8%. I mean, not even China had seen those numbers, I think. So it's a great time to invest here in Playa del Carmen because we're growing so fast. I mean, it's hard to keep up with the developments. Now, the power bill in Lee County averages around $225. Obviously, it depends on how much you use the AC and all that. But here in Playa, we live it on 24/7, and we pay less than that. But the average is $100 per month. So you know, it's less than half. Gas is so inexpensive here in Mexico that it's just incredible. I mean, in the U.S., the average gas bill for cooking mostly, you know, because obviously it's very, you know, it's a nice weather, so you don't need it for heating usually. $55 a month, and here we 25, and again we pay less than that, and we cook every meal, you know, with gas because we love it. Water bill. This is an eye opener. In Lee County, $75 a month. Here, $20. And again, we pay less than that. We pay about 18. But I'm giving you the median, right? It's just totally amazing. You get great services at a fraction of the cost. Now, the HOA. I don't know what's going on in the U.S. People are going crazy. Homeowner associations are just out of their minds. Um, the average in Lee County, just is not New York City or LA or anything like that. Boston, $315 a month. Man, that's it used to be you could rent a house for that price not long ago when I went to college there in Miami. Here it's about $110. And the amenities are much better here. I mean, bigger swimming pools, more open spaces, beautiful greenery. I mean, security 24/7. I mean, it just feels like you're living in a resort 24/7. So, and in the U.S., that's the regular, standard HOA. Is not that great. Now, insurance is another aspect that I like to talk to you about. In Lee County, I'm not even going to discuss other areas which are in worse shape, like California, New York, and other places. $5,200 a year. I mean, it sounds unreal. And here, 980. So it's 1/5, 1/5 less. The cost of living in Lee County, on an average, standard of living with the groceries and maybe going out, once a week, going to the movie theater or going to a dinner, paying the basics, including the mortgage payment and the, gas and everything else, clothing and so forth. It's about $4,500 a month. A lot of people are not making that. And in Playa del Carmen, the same standard of living, it's about $1,800. So just with your Social Security income, even if you didn't have any savings or anything, you could actually live very nicely. I mean, that budget really, really gives you a nice standard of living. Let's talk about taxes now. Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. I'm not sure about Canada anymore, but Mexico and the U.S. have a fiscal pact that says that there's no possibility of double taxation. So when you derive income or reside in either of those countries, you can choose to pay to whichever tax authority you prefer. The IRS in the US or the SAT in Mexico. Now, on average, after deductions and everything else, in Lee County, people pay up 15% to the IRS of their gross income. Here in Playa del Carmen, it's 2%. And if you pay it here, you don't have to pay it there. So that's something unique to Mexico. If you move to Australia, you'll need to pay Australia a federal income tax, and you will still need to pay the U.S. tax. You move to Europe, same thing. You move to Colombia, Peru, Brazil, Costa Rica, same thing. But only Mexico and Canada, because of the formerly, NAFTA, and now USMCA or whatever it's called now. We avoid double taxation. So if you choose to pay Mexico, it's 2%, and you don't have to pay anything to the IRS. I mean, it's huge savings on a yearly basis. As we saw, the homes for sale, 26,000 plus, Lee County, Playa del Carmen, only 3,000 of them. The inventory in Lee County, it's crazy. It's about 2 years at the rate they're going. And I predict it's going to slow down even more. And it's just going to crash. It's going to crash. And whereas in Playa del Carmen, I expect it to actually get better, because there's so many people moving here. There's so much potential to set up your business. or to work, as a digital nomad, or just simply to retire. I mean, because you can do it with a lot less money than there. So if you could retire, don't wait. I mean, don't waste time and don't wait. Retire. Come over. If you have a property that has equity on it, sell it and move over down to Mexico, or even get a second mortgage and use that equity to buy here in cash, and have a plan B while you're not here enjoying your property. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it a lot. I'm sure you've been down here to the Mexican Caribbean, Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Mahahual, Bacalar. I mean, these are just, it's paradise. And you live peacefully, and people are great, and everything is very affordable. So that helps a lot with people being happy, right? So imagine, I mean, you could have that as an option. Come enjoy it. If you're not here, you're back in the US working, you can rent it out. We can help you with that. So the monthly income needed, to make it short, in Lee County, it's about $3,800. And as I said, a lot of people don't make that much, unfortunately. And they're starting to live in their cars, like in 2008. 2008, I had friends who were doctors, medical doctors, specialists, and they lost their home. And they were living with their 2 kids in their cars. They were Mercedes, but they were living in them. So that was crazy. It was bad. And here in Playa del Carmen, you only need around $1,600 to live a comfortable, enjoyable lifestyle. So, let me switch screens here. I'm going to close that up and move over to the transmission right here. And I'm going to actually remove that and change it to that. So I hope that with this short video, you got an idea. Think about it. Come over and visit if you've never been here. See if you like the place. I'm sure you're going to love it. Give us a call. We'll be glad to show you around some properties and some areas, commitment, and you'll think about it. But really, if you are over 50, and you have the option to retire even on a partial, pension, do it. Do it now. If you have a home or an apartment, a condo, piece of land in the U.S. and it still has equity, sell it or get a second mortgage and get your plan B ready, because the crash, my friends, is coming. 2025, fortunately, I predict is going to be as bad as 2008 was for the real estate market and for the job market and for the whole U.S. economy, because of who and his tariff craziness. It's going to crash the whole economy, and it's time to start thinking about alternatives. And here's Mexico, next door. I have a client and a friend from Houston, and she lives also Houston, right? She bought an apartment in Tulum. She totally loves it. And then she comes so often, then I ask her, because she comes on a weekend and said, wow, what a surprise. I said, why do you go to Dallas or somewhere, She says, well, the airplane ticket to Tulum cost me $200 and I get there in 2 hours. And if I go to Dallas, it costs me more and it takes me longer. And that's within the state of Texas. And she says, and I totally love Tulum. I totally love Mexico, Mexican people, Mexican food, the lifestyle. There's a large expat community here, so you won't feel alone. And we are very welcoming of people from all. We don't care about race or religion or national origin or sexual orientation. We appreciate each and every human being for what we are. We are a miracle, really. So while you're still able to think about it, maybe it's time to move. Liberate yourself from a system that has enslaved you for many, many years with promises that turn out to, they may turn out to be false, because the Social Security is going to be good and it's going to be, it may not be there for you when you expect it. Any questions? Give me a call, send me a message through WhatsApp. If you don't know what WhatsApp is, because I know in the US many people don't use it, it's a great messaging platform here in Mexico and other countries like China. SMS is just so antiquated. Nobody uses it, because in WhatsApp you can share videos and screens and the presentations, and you can have 40 people join a meeting. It's just great. Same as Telegram, but that's even lesser known than WhatsApp. But send us a WhatsApp message, or give us a call, or send us an SMS if you want. We'll be glad to help, because we really love what we're doing, helping people free themselves from the tyranny of a system that makes you work all your life and extracts every penny and doesn't leave you, enough time to enjoy your golden years. You deserve better. Come to Mexico. It was nice talking to you, and I do hope that if you like this content, you share it and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. It'll help a lot, so that it's more widely distributed. And give us a call. I've been in the real estate business for 25 years, both as an investor and as a broker. And as I said, I was a mortgage broker as well, and I did consulting for some big financial institutions in the U.S. But now I'm living the life down here in Mexico, in Playa del Carmen, the heart of Riviera Maya, paradise on earth. From the best place in the world, I wish you success, health, happiness, and that one day you'll be joining us here in Mexico, in Riviera Maya, in Playa del Carmen, or Tulum, or Cancun, or Bacalar, Mahahual, whatever you want. We'll help you out. All right? And we don't charge you a penny, because by Mexican law, the seller is the one who pays the real estate commission, like it used to be in the U.S. now. But so we won't cost you a cent. I'm a lawyer here in Mexico as well, so I'll be glad to help you with any legal issues regarding real estate. That's my specialty. And we have a team of about 160 agents eager to certify, by the way. And we are members of the National Association of Realtors, and we are members of AMPI, which is the Mexican equivalent of the NAR. So we're eager to help you out, and we'll hope to see you here soon. All right. Great Saturday. Have a nice weekend. Take care, and see you hopefully later. Take care.